Okay. Dear parents, partners, family members, friends, Insead faculty, alumni, staff, and participants, it is my great pleasure to welcome you to the commencement ceremony for the Insead Global Executive MBA Class of 2021. Welcome. Thank you for dialing in to help us mark this special day for our participants. We know without your support, this eMBA journey would have been much more difficult, if even not impossible. Thank you thus to the families, the friends, and supporters. My name is Urs Peyer. I am the Dean of the eMBA programs, and I have the pleasure of being the Master of Ceremony today. Let us first introduce Insead to our guests with this short video as we're celebrating at Insead our 60th anniversary. Please.
Today, Insead is a world leader in management education, the only truly global business school with unmatched diversity, unrivaled reach, and world-class teaching and research. But how did we get here? Our story began in France in the 1950s with a singular vision. A circle of bold pioneers established Insead to rebuild post-war Europe and transform international business. On September 12, 1959, we established the first one-year MBA program. On our state-of-the-art campus built in the 60s, we pioneered executive education and became one of the first business schools to welcome women. In the 70s, we launched the world's first customized executive education and set our sights on Asia. By the 80s, we had matured, hosting world leaders during the European Summit and adding a PhD program. In the 90s, we decided to go global and build a campus in Singapore, the first business school with full campuses on 2 continents. The Asia campus opened in the year 2000, ushering in an era of international expansion and academic growth with the launch of 2 executive MBAs and 2 more master degrees. In 2010, we opened a Middle East campus and turned to digital education, pioneering the world's first customized online executive programs and an MBA curriculum focused on digital. Now supported by an alumni community 60,000 strong and growing, Insead is truly the business school for the world. Join us as we celebrate 60 years of excellence. Join us as a force for good.
Dear GEMBA participants, today we celebrate your achievement of reaching another milestone in the Insead Executive MBA journey. It is a challenging program in any normal year, but the COVID pandemic had added a layer of complexity, anxiety, worry that none of the earlier graduating classes had experienced. It is thus with a great joy to say that you have risen to the challenge. You have adapted to the situation. You've embraced the new circumstances, and through your engagement, leave a lasting legacy with Insead. So let me give you a few examples. We're obviously missing the global dimension of traveling to different places and campuses. But when we could fly, you did. And I know many of you are now in Singapore, Dubai, and other hub places around the world together. Already during the program, you have used the new online tools to establish bridges and connections And those ways that we have learned will leave a legacy with Insead, as we have started with the GEMBA'22 to immediately use these new tools to connect them earlier, faster, deeper. Thank you for your embracement of the situation and helping us build this legacy for Insead. While obviously it is rarely preferred that we do connect online, it is a meaningful and it does look like a lasting way of connecting, especially also for recruiting. So I really appreciate that you have not just embraced, but really studied and learned how to do this effectively, adapted, because it does help you. It does help Insead to shine in the future if you're also able to do this globally in a different way online. A second point we are missing is just the informal chats and exchanges. When I listened in to the amphitheater in Singapore a few minutes ago, I could see and hear what we are missing. Many of those random encounters usually lead to collaborations. And I'm happy to actually say that you have managed to also do this in the new format. You've used both in-person as well as virtual to establish connections. I'm aware of people that have built their final project teams completely by meeting online. And I want to give you a few shout outs to Entrepreneurial Ventures that you have established during the program, including during the pandemic. And I'm very proud to say that we have 3 semi-finalists in the Insead Venture competition from the GEMBA'21 cohort. So let me give a big shout out and applause to Team Button, which is with Céline and Sebastian, both started off in the Middle East campus. Big round of applause, please. Team Aikipos, which is Gemma from the Europe section with Emmanuel, who is her husband, so she might have met him earlier. Also a big shout out. And Team Brain Focus, which is Imad and Elena from Middle East and the Europe section. Thank you and congratulations. I recently had the pleasure to talk to Imad and Elena for a pitch of their idea, which will really help with the learning. So do please pay attention in the future to all 3 of those ventures. But if it's around learning, definitely have a look at Brain Focus. Very interesting Industry 4.0 type of innovation. Congratulations on all of your projects, be that in entrepreneurial, be that in the final projects. It is very fulfilling to see that you are creative and you found each other in the Insead network and in the GEMBA'21 community. Bravo. Finally, we're all faced with changing regulations, social distancing, and even closing of our campuses. So that part of your learning journey, for even a large part for some, was online. While in March, I remember we trying to postpone a module by a week or 2. Ex post, it is clear that this was way optimistic, too optimistic. It is thus with great appreciation that I can share and thank you for engaging in the different ways of teaching, of learning that you have done in the past 9 months. What made your GEMBA'21 really exceptional is that I get feedback from faculty that I've never gotten before. They say, and I quote a few things here, they're saying that the work that you have delivered has been better than anything in the MBA and the MBA program that they've ever seen before. Your projects or final projects are so serious and so deep that they're really, really enjoying reading those and commenting on them in a very positive way. Classwork lasted until, I think it was about 9 hours and 10 minutes ago. for those of you who did YFCD in the US time zone. So even from them, from all of the YFCD faculty who have run this very interactive course the last 3 days, they have said you were super engaged in Singapore, in person, in Europe time zone, in the Middle East time zone, and in the US time zones. Everyone is super happy and excited that you have interviewed people on BBC or were interviewed on BBC in a very engaging way, and you've responded super by participating and taking away a lot of the learnings. I've also had the pleasure to see a video for those of you who did it fully virtually, and how you advertised your products. And all of this in 3 days to give a production of how you are selling your bikes is amazing. So thank you for this engagement. This would not be possible without your deep engagement in the learning journey. Your Insead journey is not over. Literally, as you still have some work to do and submissions to make. But it also means that we're looking forward to being together in the future. Hopefully in person when we can again, be that in the electives in the summer or the KMCs around the world. Let me end by thanking each and every class member for your engagement, fully in your learning journey, immersed, and with each other, supporting. I wanted to say a special thank you to all the class reps who this year had a particularly challenging task. And I want to give a shout out to Petronella, Christy, Cynthia, Alessandro, Massimo, Mark, Jimmy, Andrew, Annalisa, and Natalie for their very, very hard work and dedication to your class and to Insead. Thank you. Please also a round of applause for them. A big thank you also to the LDP coaches that were led by Vincent Dominé for their leadership development support and adaptability before and during the pandemic. To the faculty colleagues who have adapted and changed, always with the view on providing the best learning and development environment. Challenging your thinking and inspiring for you to find new ways, to connect dots in different ways, and possibly even excite you to read a financial statement. Last but not least, thank you to the Insead team, both behind the scenes, there are hundreds, as well as on stage, in the sense of program management, around Anne, Samia, Gael, Daniela, Safi, Safai, Christina, and Estefania. I also want to thank the career development team around Stella and Kai, with the whole career development team behind them, and the coaches that support your individual career development journey. Thank you for being there for each and every one of the participants, to guide them and to continue guide them post-graduation. Thank you, everyone. I wish each and every one of you success, fulfillment in your future personal, professional, and in the Insead journey going forward. Good luck, GEMBA'21. Thank you. As Master of Ceremony, it is now my pleasure to introduce Ilyan Mijo, Dean of Insead. Ilyan has joined Insead in 1996 as a professor in economics. Ilyan started his distinguished academic career at Princeton University, where he received not one but 2 fellowships for his PhD. The second one was specifically to collaborate with Ben Bernanke, former Federal Reserve chairman. Together, they've published 4 papers, one of which was on the Great Depression, which came in handy about 10 years ago and in the last 10 months. At Insead, before becoming dean, Ilyan has been teaching the macroeconomics core course in the MBA and the MBA program, winning Best Teacher Award several times. One of his classes even created a song for him, published it on YouTube, It's called the Mijovian Rhapsody. Don't look it up quite now. Listen a bit further. As a dean, he has been leading the school to its new mission of business as a force for good and successfully launched our new Hoffman Institute for Business and Society. Ilyan has been awarded the He for She Award by the UN Women in Singapore for his initiatives around gender diversity. A less well-known fact is that Ilyan was also nominated to be Deputy Prime Minister of Bulgaria, which he fortunately turned down. Please help me welcome Professor Ilyan Mijov, Dean of Insead.
Okay, let me put my new glasses. Thank you very much, Urs, for this introduction. Welcome to this commencement ceremony. Welcome if you're watching us on Zoom and if you're sitting in Dubai or in France, and of course here in this auditorium. I want to welcome especially those people who are graduating, in addition to all the guests that we have joined us today. We all hope to celebrate you and your work at one of the landmark venues here in Singapore, as we have done in the past, with your loved ones, with staff, faculty. Definitely, we were hoping for something more than this ceremony, to celebrate your talents, your hard work, team building, accomplishment. But for today, I will ask you to put aside your disappointment if you are disappointed, and instead enjoy this milestone in your life. Because today is actually the beginning and not the end of your relationship with Insead. Graduating from Insead, and especially under these circumstances, is a tremendous achievement, and one that will accompany you no matter where you go or how much uncertainty you're facing. You're by far the most resilient class that this school has seen. The last 10 months have been very, very difficult for all of us. I want to thank you for bearing with us, for helping us deliver in a different way. I want to thank our faculty who stepped up and reworked a lot of the materials so that they're fit in a way to deliver online. And as Urs also said, I want to thank our staff, our IT people, our leadership in degree programs, because behind the courses that you took, there was just so much work, unusually large amount of work. So once again, I just want you to join me in thanking all these people for what happened in the last 10 months. Thank you. As Urs mentioned, we are celebrating our 60th anniversary. The first class that came to Insead in 1959 and graduated in 1960 were 52 students from 14 countries. Today, we have more than 90 nationalities on campus, literally from all over the world. But in 1960, when you think about that period, Insead actually offered a unique proposition. At the time, it was unheard of for a school, a business school, to be international. All schools were local, independent, diverse, and driven by an entrepreneurial spirit. These were the principles on which Insead was founded, and they remain our values until today. I want to go back to that time just for a little bit, because today we're facing similar challenges. In 1945, when the Second World War ended, the world faced devastation of unimaginable proportions. Things could have deteriorated, and even many countries could have gone into isolation, not cooperate with their enemies, with the people that they fought before, and yet something different happened. Paul Collier wrote a book called The Future of Capitalism, and he says, the fundamental insight of leaders in 1945 was that the opportunistic behavior of individual nations that we had seen in the past many times had to be replaced by common obligations enforced by peer pressure. These leaders laid out the foundations of a new world by establishing the United Nations, the World Bank, the IMF, the movement towards the European Union, and so on, and thousands of other initiatives designed to create common and peaceful future for humanity. Insead is part of this project. Insead exists because key leaders at the time prioritized cooperation and internationalism, and Insead was built on the foundation of bringing people together from different parts of the world to work together, to build businesses together, to promote peace and prosperity, and not to fight with each other. That's how Insead started. This is our DNA, and now this is your DNA as well. Insead's first graduating class had witnessed widespread destruction in Europe during World War II. As they stepped out into the world, they found it riddled with economic devastation, the apocalyptic threat of the Cold War, and growing nationalism. But Insead's first graduates had a shared aspiration that international business and responsible leadership could succeed where politics had failed. Today, we're facing a different crisis, but the tendencies towards isolation and nationalism are the same. You're entering an economy that calls for rebuilding, reimagining, and rescuing. You're entering a political and social environment that needs unity and eradication of discrimination and racism. Please remember that as you find your place, make decisions, and lead, you take with you all that you have learned at Insead, from our world-class faculty, your cherished classmates, and the experiences of being both challenged and supported by the school. More importantly, when you go out there, please champion the values of diversity and tolerance, because they are the foundations of our school. Urs already mentioned that as I started 7 years ago as a dean, one of the priorities was to clarify the mission of the school. And the mission of the school today is built around business as a force for good. It is undeniable today that as the upcoming generation of business leaders, you have an outsized role to play in changing the world. You have outsized responsibility, because today we realize something that I think the world has stopped thinking about a long time ago, and that is that business is responsible, not only governments, not NGOs. I'm an economist, as Urs mentioned, so in economics, whenever there is a problem, the solution is a government intervention. Not anymore. So today, we realize that you are the ones who have to bring change to the world. In the past few months, the pandemic functioned like a fierce searchlight, illuminating the darkest threatening problems of our time. Wealth inequality increased, healthcare inequality was transparent, racial injustice, the battle between nationalism and globalism, the accelerating risks to our planet. At Insead, we're firmly committed to ensuring that business is a force for good. I hope that in the past months you have acquired the knowledge, the skills, and the conviction to make business a true force for betterment of the society. In the process of value creation for your company, you have to figure out how to create value for the society and how to preserve our planet. I know many of you are aware of this need, and I urge you to make the integration of progress and performance a reality. You can do it because you are Insead. So I'm going to close now with the most important message that I have for you, class of 2021. This is not the end. This is the beginning of your Insead journey. No one expected to see a crisis of this magnitude. You showed incredible resilience, creativity, agility. Your Insead experience was different from your expectations and from our expectations as well. But I promise to you that we will make everything possible to enhance this experience further. We will be the platform where you will continue learning. We will be the platform where you will continue strengthening these lifelong friendships that you started at Insead. We will be the platform for you to create new, more powerful, more rewarding relationships by connecting with more than 60,000 alumni in 170 countries. It is the beginning. The world is facing incredible challenges. You acquired the knowledge, the tools, and the skills to turn these challenges into opportunities. You will be facing this uphill battle, and you have to win. Because you are Insead now. You're not only alumni of our school, you're partners in this magical journey that we call Insead. Congratulations, thank you, and good luck. Amazing class of 2021. Thank you.
Thank you, Ilyan, for your very great inspirational talk. And as you could see from one example of a professor, there is so many professors at Insead that are inspiring our participants with their insights, with their knowledge, and trying to change the world. Thus, it is among those faculty that I'm now happy to reward or give out the Best Teacher Award. And for that, the participants have selected their best faculty. And I'm happy to ask Petronella and Andrew to the stage to give out and nominate the winners of the Best Teacher Award, please.
It's great to see everyone here today. As everyone in the Insead community knows, our class is blessed with an abundance of diversity. Yes, we have many, many different opinions among us. Knowing this makes it all the more significant that we have managed to find something we all agree on. And this is it. Our faculty have been truly a force for good in our learning lives. They have opened our minds, no doubt, as we expect them to. But this year, they have opened their hearts to us, providing us with inspiration, challenge, and precious nuggets of wisdom that we will always remember. We will also incidentally remember the many promised dinners and bottles of champagne that we will come calling on in the next few years. Thus, it's with great difficulty that we have shortlisted 3 professors of our core courses to especially honor today. They are Charles Galunik for leading people and organizations, Theos Evgeniou for uncertainty, data, and judgment, and Phil Parker for marketing. And the award goes to the eater of strategy for breakfast, Charles Galunik. Charles would like to now say a few words. Welcome, Charles.
Thank you, Andrew. Let me just start my video here. I hope this works. All right, is that working? Just a quick check. Great, thank you. Thank you very much. I guess I should start by thanking my old friends at Cambridge Analytica, and spasiba to the Cozy Bear Hackers Club for their support in this adventure. Apparently there was a presidential candidate and they took my project over his, so I'm very, very grateful. It's an honor, especially when I look at the list of some of the core colleagues that you've had over the year. I think you do have some of the best profs at Insead, Antonio Fatas, Javier Gimeno, and of course, Phil and Teos. Teos is still a little bit upset, I think. He's been wearing a shirt that says, "Stop the steal." So I think he's still campaigning out there. But I hope it's obvious to you that we love what we do. We're extremely lucky. We get to do research on projects and on topics that we really enjoy. We meet cool companies and amazing people. And then we have a captive audience that can't move and that has to listen to us drone on for many hours in the day. So thank you very much. As Urs and as Ilyan both said, it has been a very hard year for the planet, for so many companies that are still struggling, for so many people, some of whom are not with us any longer. And I'm sure you know some of those. It's been hard for education as well. I just want you to know that in as much you would have enjoyed more face-to-face time and that amphi time and the time afterwards, so would we. And I look forward to returning to that very, very much. maybe in some hybrid format in the future, but certainly I think, we look forward to more face-to-face encounters, including the electives next July, if all goes well. Just a couple quick reflections from me on the year. I hope that we take things a little bit less for granted, the simple things in life. I think that'll be one lesson once we get through this pandemic. I miss walking down a busy street in Paris. I miss going to a pub with friends. I really miss live music. And I hope Urs will let the Insead band play in the July electives next summer. And I miss tourism. I miss visiting different places of the world, simple things. And I hope they'll be a little bit more special. I think it's only when some of these things are taken away that we truly appreciate it. But perhaps one of the biggest lessons for me this past year was the importance of social relations. And I don't mean the friends and the family that we have. Clearly, that's important. But what I've come to realize is how important meeting new people is to our personal development. I don't believe that you can grow as an individual unless you're growing in the people that you know. I think humans were prone to comfortable cliques. We love small. Small is beautiful for us. And sometimes to expand and to reach out, to interact with other people is not as natural. It's not as easy for us, but it's so important to us for our development, to give us new mirrors on ourselves, to give us new perspectives. So I hope we return back to normal soon, and I hope we have a chance to meet once again, face-to-face in July in Fontainebleau. Hopefully some of you will come back for those electives. That's all from me. Thank you very much, and my best wishes to you and your families, your loved ones in 2021. Take care and thank you.
Congratulations and thank you, Charles. I'm Petronella and I'll be presenting the Faculty Award for non-core courses. We were blessed with brilliant professors here at Insead who dedicated themselves mind and soul in a virtual environment to inspire and to empower us, and who we will always remember. The nominees for the Faculty Awards for non-core courses are Professor Phil Parker for the AI Strategy for Startups and C-Suites KMC, Professor Roderick Swab for the Negotiations elective, Professor Claudia Seisberger for the Private Equity elective. And without a need for further negotiation, either virtual or in person, the winner is Professor Roderick Swab. Let's welcome Roderick to say a few words.
Thank you. Thank you. It's very nice actually to see some of you finally in person. Some of you may not even have recognized me here today, but this is what I look like. Hey, so dear all, it's a pleasure actually to be with you today. And let me first start actually by extending also my congratulations actually to all of you, and well deserved and well done overall. Thank you very, very much for this award. It's I'm deeply honored and grateful actually by your nomination, and it's a very humbling experience also knowing actually all the choices actually that you have and all the courses and excellent, like outstanding faculty actually that have worked with you. I would also like to thank actually the team behind the Negotiation Dynamics course. There's a big team behind it. So Nazira, Ines, Solène, and Cindy, thank you to you too. So coming back to some of the things actually that Ilyan said before, and also Charlie, I think one of the things actually that impressed me the most this year about you as a group was one word that really stood out, and that was actually resilience, right? And we all know actually, we've all experienced how difficult confinement is. But to be confined and then on top of that also to actually do your MBA, that's a whole other different level, right? So it seems almost like a mission impossible to me. Yet you pulled it off, and sometimes actually with kids running around actually distracting you from studying the case. Also, I know that some of you had to get up very early as 3 a.m. to get ready for your next negotiation. Others even actually stayed up until after midnight to give your colleagues some feedback on how to do better going forward. So this was a truly remarkable effort. And it also speaks actually to your dedication, not only to your personal journey, but also actually to your classmates and their learning. So I will keep very fond memories actually of our time actually in class. It was a very enjoyable experience. And despite all the things actually that I made you go through, from difficult like transactional price negotiations where you had to haggle, to very emotional disputes actually where some of you may got even upset with each other. Now I hope that our time together also leaves you with at least one really important insight, right? And that is actually that successful negotiations are not just about like trickery and competitive like tactics, right? And hardball tactics. Really what matters actually is our commitment to discovery, to like how our underlying interests actually may overlap. So be curious as you go forward about why others want what they want. Treat them well and also capitalize on those opportunities actually to create value for all involved. So going forward, my hope is that your negotiation world will be a little bit less random actually than before, but also actually that you will use your learnings and newly equipped kind of like insights and powers actually in a way actually that benefits all involved. So thank you very much. It has been it is a really great honor. And congratulations again, and I hope to see you all actually in Fontainebleau next summer for the next step, because it doesn't end with just a negotiation dynamics elective, right? So I hope to see you next summer. Congratulations again. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Roderick. We also have a short video from Claudia, who is in North America and could not attend today.
Hello and congratulations to all our GEMBAs, especially to those of you that were in one of my classes. You made it to the finish line, and that is an incredible achievement. I was just informed by Urs that I'm one of the 3 faculty nominated for Best Non-Core Teaching Award by our GEMBAs. So first, thank you very much. I'm humbled, especially in this year where it was a bit challenging to teach the same kind of interactive classes, especially my private equity elective, where I had people from Australia all the way to Houston in my class on various different time zones. But I guess we managed to get this over the line. So what I wish you is all the best for your future careers, and try to manage some work-life balance as well. I know you're all very ambitious and you're on the trajectory to do wonderful things, but most of all, stay in touch, especially if you are planning to be involved in anything in the private capital space. I love to hear from my students, and I would love to hear from you guys as well over the next decades when you're doing amazing things. Congratulations again, and happy graduation. I'm sorry I can't be with you in Singapore, but I'm sure this video will bring the message across. Thank you.
So thank you again to all of the faculty for their really hard work and inspiration. And I hope to the guests, you could see a few of our faculty now to get a glimpse of how inspiring and funny they can be, as well as giving out important messages. As all of the faculty have also shared, all of this classroom learning really only works if all the participants contribute and engage, be it across different time zones, be it in the classroom. And so I'm really happy to now ask your class speakers to come forward and give your class speaker or your class address. And the class GEMBA'21 has nominated 3 speakers who will coordinate the speech: Josie, Cynthia, and Jimmy. Please, thank you, and a round of applause for them too to start.
Hi, can you hear me? Can everyone go on mute? I can't see you. Is your camera on? We laughed, we learned, we Zoomed. There has been a lot of Zoom. Teams, Cisco, Blue Jeans, Google Meet, and Zoom. Good morning, afternoon, evening, din mijo, din paya, faculty and staff, family and friends, and all those of us graduating as GEMBA'21. I never imagined business school would involve so much time on video calling, sitting in my shorts at the kitchen table. Our great adventure into the GEMBA. We knew this was going to be about connections. We didn't realize how much that also meant connecting to our Wi-Fi and internet. Our European cohort arrived on campus last November with grand ambitions and trepidation with what lay ahead. But the ice was quickly broken with more warm smiles, genuine generosity, and a willingness to help one another. Our friendships formed in the early hours at Glasgow on a simulated Everest climb, during outward bound in the forest, and surviving our first set of exams. This was our introduction to Insead. Yet stormy weather was ahead. Leadership relishes a challenge. And as Everest and LDP has taught us, it is not the mountain we conquer, but ourselves. We all recall the moment when our Singapore module pivoted to Fontainebleau, and the moment that module was cut short, mid-March, with the shutdown in France. Classmates disappeared by the day. There was relief in the library when it was finally called. Time to go home. Javier's strategy homework postponed. Those of us left behind headed to the Chateau Gardens. We stayed into the late hours in the fresh spring air, truly savoring our last moments together. This was the GEMBA'21 spirit. We helped each other to adjust to this brave new world. There were life sharing sessions and the GEMBA happy hours where we were taken to different parts of the world, treated to Jerome's DJ talents, Kiana's views of the Hong Kong skyline, and Lucia's tours through Central Park. The Iron Maidens emerged, a group of strong GEMBA women who worked out together online under strict instruction from Sean T at beachbody.com. There were WhatsApp groups for WhatsApp groups. There's a peculiar element of FOMO, or fear of missing out, that can be subsided by scrolling through a feed or sharing photos of your latest meal at the GEMBA communal table. We missed our summer ball and our electives moved online, but we created our own adventures. A group of us gathered in a medieval house in rainy Eastern England for a so-called summer camp. We were not at all envious of the sunshine, swimming pools, and Aperol spritz coming from the French group in Nantes. The Americans went hiking in Oregon, and we connected again in Istanbul, thanks to Engen, and here in Dubai, thanks to Shane. And through it all, I'd like to reflect on the strength and character of our exceptional cohort. In an already complicated world, managing our professional and personal lives, we juggled with our new identity as students. Parents raising young families and homeschooling. A warm welcome to all our new GEMBA babies. 3 a.m. wake-up calls and Zoom calls through the night. I'd like to shout out to our friends in America. Those of us managing through COVID and struggling to maintain our mental health during prolonged isolation and lockdown. It has been tough. And amongst it all, there have been some academics. Madame Hibon reminded us in our UDJ tutorials, don't panic. Phil Parker taught us not to forget Baba and the smell of consulting fees. Lily took us on a journey to the true meaning of Ronak, and we learned of couples that work and culture maps, of blue oceans and buttoners. It's the tale of two GEMBAs. It was the best of times and the worst of times. It was the age of wisdom. It was the age of foolishness. As Steve Jobs even said, stay hungry, stay foolish. Certainly, some of our foolishness was required for what we've achieved during a global pandemic. And what greatness will we do next? How will we change the world? In Theo's famous words, we'll flip the coin. And as we know, the answer is, it depends. I'm grateful for the strength of our GEMBA spirit and those that have brought us together. Thank you to Insead, to our ops team, to our class reps, to all the initiatives that have allowed us to unite and grow in this challenging time. I look forward to seeing each other to celebrate in person at our graduation in the Chateau next year, and the friendships we will continue long after the final reflection paper has been submitted. I'll leave my last words to our birthday boy, Leopold. Thank you all for a truly unforgettable time. May the bonds that we've forged in the fires of 2020 last for the rest of our lives. We thought that we would not get a chance to meet, but here I am in Dubai with my fellow speaker standing on the same podium.
From the Europe campus, on the edge of the forest of Fontainebleau, I take you on a journey across the seas and the sand dunes to Abu Dhabi campus, where our journey started in October 2019. The journey started with plans, structures, strategy, and a clear vision of the future, and it started well. We followed the plan, we studied, we laughed, we partied, and everything was going as we thought it would. March 2020, the world changed forever. I was separated from my family in Lebanon, and I was separated from my Insead family. It was a blow no one saw coming. It started as disbelief and quietly turned into deep sadness. Sadness turned to disappointment. A disappointment that I could not see my blood family, and a disappointment that I could not see my Insead family. No more coffee breaks with AG, Ozzy, and Bandar. No more discussions about family business with Mac. No more laughers with Angeli, Gabby, and Natalia. No more Zuma with Kelly, Fadi, and Sasha. No more discussions about construction with Miguel, Yani, and Sanjay. No more but professor from Rashid. The memories with each one of them are too many, and I could continue forever. I miss the campus, Christina's unconditional care, Samia's continuous support, and Dean Payer showing up during the break with a peaceful smile on his face. I wanted to be able to meet with my LDP coach and my team and be in class, learning from the best professors. But today, when I see all of us here, those feelings, this disappointment, they are all gone. This family got stronger. This family got bigger. We welcomed with love 6 babies and a puppy. Congratulations, Abid, Farouk, Bastien, Tad, and Alex. Standing here today, remembering all those valuable moments and memories, I realize that we never took each other or our time together for granted. This time together gave birth to an invisible but very strong culture of solidarity. We will be the alumni who witnessed the true importance of culture in hard times, and we will talk about it to the many GEMBA generations to come. This time together gave us the grace to embrace the challenges that this crisis has created with acceptance and resilience. Looking at all of us here, braving a pandemic, still watching out for each other, standing together gives me hope. Dean Mihov, Deputy Dean Zamsky, Dean Payer, dear Insead faculty and staff, this is a class that Insead has never seen. This is a class that Insead will always be proud of. A class that has adapted, a class that has transformed, a class that has survived, and we will survive. We will survive not only this pandemic, but all that this world has to throw at us. I call out to the world, come, look at this set of people who have single-handedly beaten one of the largest tragedies the world has ever seen. A set of people who, in spite of being locked away in their houses, work together to make sure that the business leaders of tomorrow are in no way lesser than what Insead stands for. A set of people who, in spite of being locked down, came together to make each other smile from behind their masks, and no one was left behind. My fellow Gembas, look at the mirror, and when you see that person, feel proud, for you have survived and thrived. While everyone was scared, you were the source of strength to each other. While the world around us was falling apart, you were looking at how to make tomorrow better. Whether it is Celine, who is developing a care tracking device, Madhu, who is sleeping a couple of hours a day to provide the best healthcare possible for COVID patients, Miguel, who is making sure we have a fine wine for our next celebration, Pierre, Tad, and Mark, who are creating a safe environment for the bees. And we are not done yet. We are just getting started. Pack your hopes and get ready to drink à la vie, for life. I say, let's meet in July, all of us, the 2021 family, at the place it all started in 1959. And when we see each other again, we will laugh again, party again, learn again, and hope again. Ladies and gentlemen, look around you. I present to you the class that survived, the team that thrived, and the bunch that will never surrender. I present to you the exceptional GEMBA class of 2021.
It's hot here. From the sand dune of Abu Dhabi, I cannot even talk. From the sand dune of Abu Dhabi campus, I take you now on a journey to Singapore campus, where we all started here. It was already 18 months since we started exactly in this field. I still remember the first question Dean Oath asked us. Why did you decide to join GEMBA? And I remember my answer. My answer was to find friends, to find true friends. At the start of this journey, that we all knew that we would gain knowledge. We all knew that we will expand our network. But we never think about COVID, right? That was a bit hard. A little bit? I think much more than that. Do you remember when in this amphi, we, just after a quick interview, we need to present our classmate. We need to trust a stranger we never met to share who we are. The worry of the first impression. Month pass, module after module, late night group study, very late night preparation for exam. But we should not forget party, how much we enjoy our party. One of the most memorable moments of this journey was during the blocker and driver session. We got the opportunity to share a work-related challenge. It was a great example on how our combined experience helped find solutions. The energy was incredible. That moment confirmed the reason why we chose GEMBA. our network start to transform into friendship. We start to know and understand each other, start to feel, to share our life, our worry, and our happiness. We all felt secure. Trust became the achievement of a slow process, layer by layer of friendship, authenticity, honesty, and humility. It was the building of our GEMBA foundation. Then COVID struck. It was the start of our virtual GEMBA life. A Zoom party, Zoom class, hybrid class, in person, but with a mask. I fully understand now the faculty, how hard is it to talk. I'm still so warm now. So many Zoom, but Zoom became the new norm. On the positive side, there was also on our side 6 babies. COVID helped us to become stronger and closer. But something was still missing. The hardener that will make our foundation so strong that even time and COVID, we could not damage it. It was our origin story, who we are. We all went through hardship, failure, and success. We never give up. GEMBA has helped us to transform. The slow process of transforming our network to friendship and now to bonds, so strong and so beautiful. GEMBA is coming to an end. We all feel sad for all the people that cannot come today here. We also feel sad because it's the end of a chapter. But this is also the start of our new journey. Our bond will remain as we are GEMBA'21. We are family. I have achieved what I've been coming from, I came for Insead. I have answered Dean Wu's question. I have you all, my true friends. We should not forget to thank Insead, our deans, our faculty, our operation team, for the help to this transformation, this amazing achievement. To all of you, thank you. To our cohort, anytime, anywhere, we are friends forever. We are GEMBA. So until we meet in Fontaine next year, I hope you all come. I love you all. Thank you very much.
And let's party!
Thank you so much, Josie, Cynthia, and Jimmy, for your very, very touching words. I'm very happy to hear what you have said. And I'm wondering now, next July, when we have a graduation, how can we top this? To be honest, I'm really, really touched. So thank you for sharing your views, your ways of having created and contributed so much to the success of building your GEMBA'21 family together. For today, I still want to recognize the very hard work, the resilience and the engagement of every one of our GEMBA'21 participants. I also want to thank again our families, the families of our participants, faculty, staff, and everyone for their contributions, for their support in this special journey of our GEMBA'21 participants. Can I please ask everyone to sort of get a glass ready for the sort of official act? And those of you in Singapore, maybe you have a bottle of water, not champagne, but water in your box. So please get that one out. Until everyone is ready, let me thank Samia, Katya, and their teams for their excellent work to allow us to have this virtual commencement ceremony in so many different places. Thank you, please. I'll be right back on screen. Voila. And also again, a thank you to our supporters of the participants. Following my final congratulations, there'll be an about 8-minute video of thank you slides from our participants to all of you. Thank you to the participants, and now please stand up wherever you are. Take your glass and let's toast to the near completion of your GEMBA program. By the power vested in me, by the Insead faculty and the board, I hereby congratulate you and clear you for graduation in 2021. GEMBA'21, we look forward to welcome you to the Insead alumni community. Cheers! Woohoo! Bravo! Good to see everyone. Cheers.